Attorney Leonard Robbins is the oldest narrator that I've interviewed in the Race and Change Oral History Collection. He's seen a lot of change, all right. He continues to work with lawyers just out of college, and boy, does he remember.
And I went to school in college in 1937. I got out of school in 1941 and went to the University of Harvard University, which was at that time at the same place it is now, on Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And
Could you find a job when you came back here?
no, I couldn't get a job in Fort Lauderdale.
Why not?
I was Jewish.
Really?
I'm from Fort Lauderdale.
So in the 40s then it was that bad, huh?
It was bad. The atmosphere in Broward County was perhaps the most anti-Semitic in the United States at that time.
But when you came back to start to get to practice law after graduating Harvard, I don't understand. You mean you actually knocked on doors of firms and they told you they wouldn't hire you because you were Jewish?
No, they didn't put it that way. They just said they didn't have room to hire a associate. But I knew what it was.
Now tell me, before this though, you grew up in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, went to high school, all the way through school.
All the way through school, and you remembered actually seeing the Klan marching down Andrews Avenue?
One night we were downtown and the Klan was going to come through. So we went and hid in the doorways. You know how the store had a recessed doorway those days? A bunch of us boys, they came riding down the street wearing their sheets, I guess bed sheets what they were.
And this was in downtown Fort Lauderdale, right?
Down Andrews Avenue.
Down Andrews Avenue, where the museum is and all now. Huh?
That's where my dad's store was. Robbins Incorporated.
Robbins Incorporated.
Men's clothing.
Now, was that unusual to have a Jewish-owned store?
No. Most of the stores, there were about 7 or 8 Jewish families in town, and most of the stores were owned by Jewish merchants. In fact, they formed the nucleus, really, of what the Chamber of Commerce was in those days.
Oh, right. So in the, this was what, the 30s or the 20s?
This was in the, well, war was declared December of 41.
Oh, okay.
Japanese,
into the 40s.
Pearl Harbor, so this was in the summer of 42. Blacks couldn't come east of the Florida East Coast Railroad tracks at night.
That's the tracks downtown.
That's what track goes through the downtown.
Couldn't come east.
They couldn't go to the beach. My father was the first man that had a black man that waited on trade.
Waiting on people. Oh, really? So
Oh, yeah.
how did that work? Do you recall?
Well, it just happened that he worked in the store, and my father said, "Hey, you wait on customers just like anyone else. If they have any objection, I'll give them somebody else." But most of the people didn't.
But that was at a time when blacks couldn't even come to a lot of the stores, though, right?
They couldn't even come in the stores.
What are the changes around race relations that you've been happiest to see?
Well, I was happy to see when they began taking Jewish people into their clubs, their activities, and then gradually black people started assimilating the same way. And the people that were equal in education, equal in sophistication, I guess you'd say, started getting into the various organizations. Everyone's is more alike than there are different. And being alike, they have the same ambitions, the same wishes, the same culture. They have a great deal to do with each other in this country. The difference, I think, between people is accentuated by the differences. The difference in skin color. Today the conditions is much better. I was called all kinds of names. Now I'm an affluent Jewish philanthropist. In fact, most of the honors I've achieved have been places that I couldn't get into when I was a boy. And I think the black people are adopting the same thing.